The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Hello and welcome back to the Icons of Real Estate podcast. I'm your host, Timothy Caetano, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing show for y'all. Now, I always say this, and I'll continue to say this until everybody tells me to stop. Women are definitely taking over the real estate industry. And I love it because they really are giving the men a run for their money. And today's guest is no exception. She has been taking all the industry by storm. She has built an army of professionals that are also taking the industry by storm. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have the pleasure of having her as a guest. So she's here to motivate, inspire, and to educate. So I suggest that you get your pen, you get your notebook, you gather your friends, your family, because trust me, y'all do not want to miss this. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my guest, Anastacia Harrell. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's great having you here. In my mind, whenever I have these kind of introductions, I just hear like a crowd going, yeah.
Yeah,
in my
they're
head.
going wild in the background.
Yeah. I mean, you have definitely done a lot within your career and you've been successful. A lot of people think when I introduce agents, I'm trying to hype them up, but I look into what they're doing and it's impressive. And I think your story is amazing as well, what you've been able to do. But for those that don't know you out there, I do want to give them the opportunity to hear your story, how you got into real estate and what motivated you to get into real estate.
I love that. Yes. So I was actually in dentistry for 11 years and I was facing double hand surgery as a solo mom to a 6-month-old.
Wow.
Impossible feat. I was not going to be able to hold my baby. And my ex-husband and I, we had owned some investment properties and real estate was always of interest to me. And so I thought, I'm going to need something else to fall back on. And so I got my real estate license and then I was doing both full time. So I was a realtor and a dental hygienist for a while, full time with a baby.
That's amazing.
And all on my own. And then the pandemic hit and I started to realize that I was going to need to be home with my daughter and, everything shut down. And so I went all in on real estate and then across the years, just built out an amazing organization of agents, just launched my first course and we're just doing amazing things over here. It's super exciting.
It is. Man, from putting smiles on people's faces, as a dentist, to putting smiles on people's faces as a realtor. What do you find most rewarding about being a real estate agent?
I think the best part is to be able to help people achieve home ownership because there is no better key to generational wealth. And so not only are we giving people a roof over their head, but we are also helping them build for generations to come within their families. And that is such a rewarding thing.
Yeah, I mean that is amazing. I can only imagine the feeling of handing over the keys, to a family that has, really worked hard to buy their first house. I mean, does that feeling ever like, do you ever get used to it? Do you ever be like, oh, here are your keys. All right, peace. We'll meet again.
I don't think so. I think every time is unique because everyone's stories are unique. So the
Mm,
things that got them to getting the keys and
mm,
all of the hurdles they had to overcome in life to be able to achieve that. We are helping people buy the biggest investments of their entire lives.
mm.
And to hear everyone's individual stories for how they were able to achieve that, and to be able to see their children have smiles on their faces because they're going to have a backyard instead of being in an apartment where they just had a balcony. Or, things like that, or maybe they were, staying with family and things were crowded. Everyone has such a unique story to their homeownership journey that I don't think it's ever going to get old because
Yeah.
it's different every time.
That's definitely true. Now, what inspired you to start the Best Washington or WA properties, and how did you go about establishing your business?
It's a great question. So,
Mm,
really, the idea of Best Washington Properties was really driven by my passion for helping people to find their dream homes
mm,
and wanting to really cater to their personalized journey and be the best at it. And so because I'm located in Washington State, and wanted to be the best at that aspect, it kind of all came together. It took a very client focused approach and just kind of developed from there. It took a lot of market research, individual state research, where, because starting your own business is unique in every state. And so I had to do a lot of research for Washington and then go through that process. I had some mentors help me along the way to be able to get it all the way to the finish line. But I'm so glad that I did, because that's a brand that is going to sustain and it stays with me and with my team. And that's an amazing thing.
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced, when starting out your business? I know it can be quite stressful, but what were the challenges and how did you overcome them?
Well, I think my challenges as a solo mom were unique because I have my daughter 100% of the time. And so some of outside of just the normal market challenges and things like that, working through some of those fluctuating market conditions, I also was trying to face how to balance being an amazing mom while still being an amazing realtor to my clients. And often those things kind of meshed. I really speak a lot to finding your avatar, your person, right? And the people that I work with, they often have kids themselves because that's where we relate, right? And so my daughter has been on a lot of that journey with me, but it has definitely been a challenge to try to balance it, because where other top producing realtors can, just be on the go all of the time, I had to be really structured in how much time I was spending with clients and where that time was happening so that I could still be an amazing mom, because that was always a priority for me.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of had some unique challenges in my career, and it really meant that, I've gotten to have my daughter along for the ride and show her the entrepreneurship lifestyle and what hard work and dedication really looks like. And my clients get to see the inside view of my life too, which I think helps to form those client and realtor bonds.
Yeah. One of the things that I commend real estate moms for is exactly what you just said, like finding that balance between being a successful, real estate agent or businesswoman and, being a loving mom. It's something that I feel a lot of men that get into real estate don't really worry too much about, because there's always, the wife back at home who's taking care of things. But, for a mom to take on that role to say, this is what I want to achieve, it can be quite challenging, right? It has, it's stress and there's a lot of chaos that comes with it. I just want to find out from you, like, how important was it to have a support group during this time of you establishing a Best Washington properties and also making sure that, your daughter is well taken care of in the process?
I think that it was hugely important. I don't know how I would have been able to achieve it without the support really of my mom, and she's
Mm.
here in the area. And so I don't know how I would have been able to do that, or without my team, because there are times that I'm not able to show homes, that I'm not able to go and work with those clients. And thankfully, I have an amazing team that is ready to get out there. And I know that my clients are still going to get the best service because I have worked with these individuals. I've helped to train them in their careers. And so yeah, I think that it's really important to find that balance. And I know there are people out there that say, oh, you can't do both. You know, you're not going to be able to be a great mom and be a great realtor. And I would say this is 2024. That is
Yeah.
not the way things work anymore. You can be
Proving them
both.
wrong.
Yeah. And who better to represent you than a mom who spends her days negotiating, trying to get her child to eat that last piece of broccoli? That's the
Mm.
person I want negotiating on my behalf, because I
Yeah.
don't know if you're trying to get a 2-year-old to eat a piece of broccoli, but if you have, you know the uphill battle, and there's
Yeah.
better qualified to negotiate on a buyer's or seller's behalf than a
Yeah.
mom.
Wow, that's amazing. So shout out to mom and shout out to the team. You guys are amazing. Now, I believe you were named, one of the top. I would say you were you were ranked number 7 out of 100 top Washington realtors on social media. Now, I think when someone hears it, they're like, "Oh, okay. I mean, that's number 7," but you do not know how hard you have to work to achieve that. What did that mean for you, and how has it contributed to, your success and how you serve your clients?
That was an amazing thing to be named number 7. And especially sitting next to some of, agents that are working in the Seattle market, and some that don't have children, or, that have a spouse to be able to help them navigate that. And so being number 7 was an amazing achievement. I was so honored to achieve that. But I really think that it came down to being authentic, right? Who I am with my clients, who I am with my daughter and my team, and just my day to day is who my audience ultimately sees on social media too. I really
Mhm.
try to show up in a space and be true to who I am. And, it's funny because I think that people find some of the more spoof stories, or the ones where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just shared this with people. But those
Yeah.
are the ones that people can relate to,
Yeah.
that I had a chocolate chip that melted in my seat, and I walked around with my daughter and was, showing
Mhm.
houses and had chocolate chips smeared down the back of my pants.
Yeah.
Everybody loved that story. And it
Yeah.
was because they could relate to that too. They'd been there, right?
Yeah.
So I think that that has really allowed my audience to relate to me and to build those relationships on a personal level through social media. And that it has helped my clients be able to see who they're truly working with, rather than who they're just going to see when they do a Google search.
Yeah, especially with that chocolate chip story, man. I'll lie, I've definitely been there. You just find yourself trying to explain what happened without anyone asking you stuff. Like, yeah, 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 man. I have a
Yeah.
busy life. This over here, chocolate chip, man.
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry
Just
about
ignore it.
that.
Yeah.
Oh
Exactly.
man. Yeah. So you mentioned that you had mentors and people that helped you start your business. And who have been your biggest mentors in your career? And do you think you would ever been able to be where you are today if it wasn't for them?
You know, I I mean, I really think that everyone's got to hand it to those who have a significant influence or impact in their lives, right?
Mm,
And so, no, I don't know that I would be where I am today without those individuals,
mm,
from prior brokers that really changed my way of thinking, and taught me how I wanted to present and within my business, to coaches that I've worked with, and even still am working with. Um, I think that in leadership, it's always important to still be coachable, right? And to have a coach, because areas that I'm strong in, I can help others be strong in those areas. But that every leader has their weaknesses as well. And it's
Yeah.
important to find someone that you connect with, someone who can coach you and help you see areas that you maybe need to work on, and continue to improve. I think that's the whole purpose of leadership, is that you've got to constantly be teachable yourself. And those mentors and coaches and people that have been in my lives, they've really helped me to be resilient in this career, to understand the ebbs and flows of the market, to always be wanting to learn. And really, to my prior broker, he was the one that I had worked with for a lot of years through the pandemic and stuff. He really had a client first mentality, and that has stuck with me. And so I'm just so grateful for all of those people that have had such a big role in my success.
All right, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Now, I love the name of your company, Best Washington Properties. And looking at the track record, I think the name is a true testament to what you guys are doing. Now, I want to find out from you as a leader, how have you grown your team, and what are the qualities that you look for within your team members?
I think that is a really good question. So I've had to be pretty strategic with it, and finding agents who really align with the core values that
Mm,
I have, right? Because I feel firmly that anybody who is on my team, I should feel comfortable with them representing my mom or my grandmother,
mm,
or even me in a transaction, right? And so the people that I work with, I feel like our core values are in sync. And not only are those individuals knowledgeable and they are experienced, but they are also so passionate about real estate, and they are client oriented just as I am, and have a super strong work ethic. And I've done a ton of working with agents. I have a ton of agents in my organization. But the thing I have found upon those who are successful is that they just don't give up. They just keep working at it and improving themselves. And whether they're busy parenting as well, or working another job part time, or whatever that looks like for them, they still dedicate their time and energy to being the best agent that they can be for their clients. And so when looking for someone to add to the team, that is something that's really important to me. I want to make sure that we are all in alignment so that we can have that collaborative team environment and be supportive of each other and our clients.
that's amazing. That's amazing. I want to take this time to give a special shout out to the sponsors of today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, the icons of Real Estate Podcast Network. Now, if you didn't know, we produce a real estate podcasts. We produce podcasts in general, right? And right now, I want to find out from you guys out there, if you were to start your own podcast, what would you call it? All right, comment down below and I will be checking that. And look, we might just help you get started with yours. Now, I want to find out from you, Anastasia, what would you call your podcast?
So I actually just I had to leave behind the Best Washington Properties social
Mm,
media and
mm,
start a whole new social media. And I
oh,
really like the name that I came up with for that. It's called Virtually Anastasia. So
ooh,
virtually underscore Anastasia. But I
yeah.
think I would go with that for a podcast, because you're
Mm.
getting me, the true authentic me, but in a virtual setting. And so I think that I would
Oh,
probably go with Virtually Anastasia.
I like that. I like that. I like how you really, thought about that. That's amazing. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. And all of you guys out there who just heard this and had the bright idea of putting your name instead of Anastasia's name, We're not going to do that. It's already taken. So don't comment down below and be like, yo, Tim, I want to start a podcast called Virtually Thomas or Virtually Johnson. No, we're not doing that. All right. It's taken. You have to be unique with that. So I think that's an amazing name, right? Now, as a leader, I want to find out from you, what is your leadership style and how does it influence your team's performance?
I tend to be really collaborative, I think, in
Mm,
my leadership style. I'm big on the where we go together, and
mm,
I think that if I make it to the top and I look to my left and right and I don't see my people surrounding me, then what was the point? That's it. I'm not going to be able to celebrate unless I'm able to see them there at the top with me. And so my leadership style tends to reflect that, to be truly collaborative in our efforts. And I really believe in providing my team with the tools and resources and support that they need to be successful here. And that looks a little different for each and every one of them based on their life circumstances. And because mine have been so unique in this industry, I think it's allowed me to have a better understanding of other people's life circumstances, right? That life happens, that while we want this to grow and we want to be, serve our clients in the best way, that starts with filling our cups and making sure that ourselves and our families are taken care of. And so that's always a priority to me with everyone in my team.
that's amazing. You don't get a lot of leaders that say, hey, you know, when I get to the top, I want to see my team around me. I want to see everyone that I've been working with around me. Most people are like, yeah, when I get to the top, the world is gonna see me. They're gonna know that, So I love that. I love that mindset. And I think your team is really lucky to have you as a leader. Um, Now, how do you envision the future of real estate in Washington State? And what role do you see yourself and your team playing in that future?
I think that it's ever changing. I mean, the 2024 market has been brutal on,
Yeah,
right? It's taken adjustments. This is a market that is ever changing. And I think that we all have to be ready for that. And that, what everyone's role in this industry right now is dependent on them. And so I really want to continue to see us growing, to evolving with those market trends, to really dialing in our skill sets, because I think when things are slower or when you have markets like this, that education is so vital to
yeah.
success. And so I really aim for my team to be at the forefront of the changes that are happening here in Washington, but also, across the US, because everybody knows there's all these changes that are occurring in the real estate industry. And so I want to make sure that we're at the forefront of that and able to represent our clients to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
What that looks like is a little different for each and every person, but making sure that we're united in that.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, anything exciting that we should know about? Anything that you and your team are working on right now? Any developments that we should know?
So we are obviously always growing and looking to grow even further. We just made a shift to a new brokerage. We're now at Epic Realty. And so
Oh,
looking to partner with amazing agents all over the US, and to be able to tap them into the amazing benefits that we have here. And then also, I just launched my first real estate course. I've been training virtual assistants since 2019 all over the US and really the world, to place them strategically in realtors' businesses to help them manage their administrative tasks while they do more client forward facing tasks. And so I launched my course to help train individuals who are looking to become real estate virtual assistants, which is really exciting.
yeah.
And a lot of my team's success has been by leveraging virtual assistants within our businesses. And
Mhm.
so I'm excited to be able to offer that to others and to be able to help realtors find truly skilled, trustworthy virtual assistants to help them grow their businesses too. So we are really excited about all of the upcoming things for all of us. I think it's going to be a really amazing last part of 2024.
Yeah, wow, that right there is amazing. Now, how can we get a hold of this course? How can someone out there who wants to make sure that they get the best virtual assistant, or they provide the best information for their team? How can they go about getting your course?
They can connect with me on the virtually_Anastasia Instagram, as you see the virtually part, that virtual assistant.
Yeah.
So the virtually_Anastasia Instagram, I would be thrilled to provide more information. I've got links within there, also bite-sized information within reels and posts to talk about the value and benefits of virtual assistants, as well as how to get into my Real Estate Virtual Assistant Academy. So all of that is all housed within there. But I'm always happy to answer additional questions and help get everybody set up for that.
Right. So you heard that, guys. So if she said additional questions, so I hope that you guys take advantage of this. So if you're a realtor out there, or you just got your license and you need guidance, and maybe you're looking for a home, look, reach out. Or maybe you're a single mom, and you want to get into real estate, but you worried about the fact that you might not find the balance because you still want to have time for your kids, right? Reach out and look, she's here to help. She's here to help you and guide you through that. So you know what you need to do. Her details are in the description. So reach out and trust me, you won't regret it. Right. Thank you so much for being an amazing guest on the
Thank you.
podcast. You have an amazing story. I said that when we got started. You have a success story that I think will inspire a lot of women who want to get into real estate. And I think one thing that I can take from your story is it's been a journey of growth. And I think it hasn't ended. This is just the beginning of it. So everyone else out there, be on the lookout, because if you did not know her, trust me, you will definitely remember her after this and years to come. So that's Best Washington Properties. So if you want the best service in Washington, you know what you need to do, right? So thank you so much for being an amazing guest and providing valuable information to our audience. We really appreciate all your contributions.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's been such an honor. And I look forward to seeing all the realtors out there learn and grow and continue to build those strong relationships with their clients.
All right, all right. Thank you. Now,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen out there, if you got this far into the episode, hit the like button. If you are listening to this on any other platform, share this with your friends, share this with your social circle, because trust me, they will love you forever. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been your host, Timothy Caetano, with the amazing superwoman in real estate, the best in Washington, with the best team in Washington, Anastasia Harrell. Ladies and gentlemen, put some clapping emojis, because I know these clapping sounds that I hear when I'm saying all these things isn't just me. So just put some clapping emojis over here, right? And appreciate our wonderful guest. Anastasia, thank you so much. And to everyone listening out there, thank you. We'll meet again soon.